Yep.
Of course, it was happening to me. I have a day like this every week, okay? On the screen, you see the initial part of my presentation, but I really want to show you a whole lot more. Did that change?
Yep.
What you see right now is my uncle. This is Garfield Hurd, graduated from the University of Oklahoma in 1970, Boomer Sooner baby. I'm a big Oklahoma fan for that reason, but he also is famous for another thing. 1976, he's famous because of the shot. He hit the shot that sent the World Championship between the Phoenix Suns and the Boston Celtics into triple overtime. These are some of the greatest people in the world. This is my niece and these are my two nephews. They're a little bit older now, but I like to remember them that way because in actuality, back then I was super uncle. I was not the blind uncle, I was a super uncle. But that's not really who I am either. Right now, this is the beginning of who I am, sort of. This is from 1996. This is the Paralympic Games held right here at Georgia Tech. I was in the pentathlon, which is half of the decathlon. At that point, I was 188 pounds and 3% body fat. But that's not who I am either. What you see right here is a logo that I designed when I was totally blind for the 2000 Paralympics. I worked with a graphic artist for 3 weeks for this. It's absolutely my design. The person just did all the drawing. I love to design things like that, but that's not who I am either. This is the one that really pissed off people at the Olympic Committee. From We Media, I was the blind person that got chosen to be on the inside of the magazine because they said I was the most photogenic. So this turned out to be my poster for 2000. So I've had a poster in 96, which had the original picture, and this is in 2000. Right here, this is from 2000 as well. This is me, and this on my LinkedIn profile right now. This is me with Bill Clinton. I keep this one up here because in 2004, when I got to go back to the White House, George W. only let a couple of people come down and get a photo while Bill Clinton had all 700 of us walking to the White House. I love that point in my life, but that's not who I am either. Who am I? What I'm wearing right now is the quote-unquote dress outfit from the 2004 Athens Paralympic Games. And this is the one that I quote-unquote decided that it was time for me to quit, get out of the sandbox and go play with people my own age. I said that because the 4 people that were on the track team with me that were blind, none of them were born before my first knee surgery. So I said it's time to quit and time to go in the house. But this is not who I am either. Who am I? I'm not exactly sure. And it took me many years to find out who I really was. My name is Vincent Martin, and I'm the blind guy with the dog on campus. Currently, I'm a PhD student in human-centered computing, and also the first totally blind student in text history. But that's not who I am. I turned 50 on Saturday, and I had a great gathering at Mary Max with my family. That was nice. A part of me would have preferred being at home reading or writing a book, though. I'm an unabashed introvert. Between 1/3 and 1/2 of you are the same way. Until the age of 5, I pretty much wouldn't say a word to anybody. No one but family members. My nickname was actually Say, because I wouldn't say a thing to anybody. I would just stare at them. My father cured me of this, though, or at least he brought me out of this. When I was visiting a co-worker of his with him one Friday evening, Mr. Lindsay gave me an apple and a green-colored toothpick. I'd never seen a colored toothpick in my life, and I was totally amazed. I started talking to him that day. Flash forward 12 years later, the night I graduated from high school, my dad gave him an apple and a green-colored toothpick back. He said he was trying to break the spell. The boy hadn't shut up since that day. He was a loudmouth kingmaker with a diva streak. Actually, that's a good description of my mother. But that's not who I am either. Where it all began. I remember when the ball disappeared. Late April 1979, and I just earned a slot as a starter in right field of my high school baseball team, 14 years old. Routine pop fly turned into a triple. I lost the ball in the sky. Not sunny, cloudy. I lost a white ball against the background of the white clouds. It was a precursor of things to come. Actually, I had no idea it was the end of a phase in my life, but it was definitely the beginning of another phase. I quit playing baseball 3 days later. Right hand over strong right arm. but I batted left-handed. How did that happen? I'd been a right-handed batter until I was 12 years old, and suddenly I changed. We didn't know why. Was I a newly minted switch hitter? No, I literally changed and became a left-handed batter. For most of my childhood in football, I was an offensive and a defensive lineman. At the beginning of my freshman year, JV coach saw me throw a 50-yard rope and said, "You're going to be a quarterback." I declined, and during spring football, I quit. They didn't know why. I told everybody, and you know this is crap, that in high school I really wanted to concentrate on my activities such as academics. Nah, I said I was going to play baseball, and I'll tell you how that turned out. But later on I went back to football, became a fullback, defensive lineman, and a nasty, nasty outside linebacker. I was a tenacious basketball player. During my sophomore year of my high school career, my high school won its 5th state championship in 12 years. I would have been on that team as well, but I already quit playing basketball as well. Got tired of getting hit in the head. I wasn't that interested in playing basketball anyway. But that wasn't really who I was. Although I was recruited to play Division I-A football, including here at Georgia Tech, I declined and said I was going to just be an academician. I said I was going to go to Georgia Tech as a regular student. I've always bled white and gold, never ever rooted for the red and black in my life. But I also turned down all three of the service academies. They even came to my house. I did something a little weird. I scored a perfect on the ASVAB test, including all those crazy images that you take apart. I got every left one right. I didn't know that's how I saw. I really broke things apart and put them back together. They were even flabbergasted when they told me that when I told them that I thought it was easy. I just saw the world that way. Well, since I couldn't be a pilot, I said, well, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to be a yellow jacket. Just imagine though, 6 years later, if I'd gone to the Air Force, I would have been a disabled officer. I would have had, lifetime untaxed benefits. That's why don't you ever listen to a 17-year-old. Pay attention now. That was a good example of my father. He and I are very pragmatic and very realistic. College is where I started to discover who I was. You know, I got 60% titration error in an acid-based chem lab, not knowing that I had a color discrimination problem. I also discovered that I had a problem with the lights. I couldn't live with that fluorescent part, the ballast. But it also became very apparent that I couldn't see well in the dark. I kissed more poles and ran into more trash cans than no one could ever make the excuse for it. I also discovered, doing a personality indicator, what I really was. Well, actually, I thought I did. But this is where my behavior and my human behavior fixation started. In 1987, I was getting ready to graduate with 2 engineering degrees. I saw a commercial. The former owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Gordon Gahn, blind from retinitis pigmentosa. I was lying there, not paying attention, and it hit me. 10 minutes later, after that lightning bolt hit and I didn't turn into the Flash, I was running to the library without a jacket. 30 minutes later, I was sitting around with 6 encyclopedias, laughing like the Joker. I was laughing because I was very happy. I just discovered that I was going blind and I hadn't been going crazy for 10 years. Sitting in that library, everything started to make sense to me. I remember an article about a linebacker at the University of Auburn in the 70s. He had the same problem. He had to have someone walking him around campus at night. My mother's a Methodist minister. She and I have always said people have a tendency to